And for running up and down those like gigantic slopes, like we're not gonna do that. Setting up traps. I can't jump over my own issue here. Because what we can do is we can go over to these slopes here and we can smooth them out. Make sure they don't have any ridiculous edge crap going on. Which is what we'll really do with a lot of our pieces of levels. Is go through, make sure there are no seams that are going to cause issues. And we just want to make sure that we don't have to do this for everything. And a lot of game development is just tedious stuff like this where you just be going through and smoothing stuff out. Yeah, they're double jumps for sure. But we want to be able to just nicely run up and down this sort of slope without insane things happening. And we also want to make sure that we can actually just fly off properly. And yeah, that was the other issue that we were having. Was the immediate falling off of stuff. Wonder, can we get like another piece of geometry here, which actually has the proper dimensions? Like, what if we made this thing like super small? Is our air control set properly on this object? Our air control is set to the exact same thing that our air control movement velocity is 20,000, jump velocity is 6,000, kill jump force, jump grease, mass effect. Passive velocity change. Just make sure our velocity changes aren't doing anything for us. Interesting. It's basically saying that our there's two different things going on here, which is for some of these it's the normal that we're getting is the normal before the jump, and some we're getting is the normal at the tip of the surface. So right at the tip of that jump, when you're standing, is actually standing on flat ground, because it's like this, and if Bitey's box is like this, the normal is actually standing like that. But if he's standing right here, the normal is like this. Does it have depth? Yes, it has depth. So what do we want to do about this? I think we want something else going on here. Like a lot of our actual geometry for our collisions is going to be invisible objects. Like we're probably just going to have invisible objects for all the actual track collision that you're running along, and then we'll tack on stuff on top of it and around it that make it look pretty. I mean, I could just take your direction of motion, go back, cast down, and then get like a normal off of it. That's probably what we should do. So let's do that. Probably both Karakan. Probably have invisible physics objects on everything. Alright, so we need to do, basically right here is where we're going to have this movement object sort of sweeping position. And what we want to have happen is basically we want to go backwards and recalculate it. We want to find a new normal. Basically, we want to take the start position, subtract the movement direction vector from it, multiply by our width to find a new normal, and then we want to use that. And try to remove our object over to there. Alright, so we want f vector test position is going to equal start position plus, we're going to do the negative movement direction vector multiplied by the width of our object. Yeah, so it'll be cache bounds dot So if this does not equal that, then and we're going to try to sweep in that direction. We're actually saving the collision, so we need a different collision. Alright, so we're going to say new normal is that if new normal does not equal this new collision's impact normal. So if not, then we're going to set the And we're not going to snap to the floor. We're just going to say like internal set position, new position. And the new normal, and yeah, we're going to set our movement direction vector is going to be this. So I think basically what this will do, like this is just awful code and we'll come clean up a lot of these things, is it's going to make it so we move like we expect at the top of that ramp. That we come off of it, basically we're going to go a little bit behind our character and down, find our normal, make sure that we actually try to launch straight off that ramp properly, and get our velocity proper based on the normal that was behind us. And this is not acting like we would expect it to. And that's because start position is screwed up. We should be testing based on the test position. I was testing based on start position, which the start position was already getting like we are standing on flat ground, and what we want to do is actually test from the start position, you know, a little bit behind where we're moving from, and all that. So let's see if this does what we'd like it to do. What the we didn't stick. Our movement direction vector was wrong. So let's print out also the start position and the test position. And we want the distance. Like so. So let's figure out what is going on there. Movement normal. Movement normal was correct that time. Movement normal was not correct that time. Maybe I need to go back farther. Because we're not moving the start position, are we? Start position is just... Yeah, our start position is correct. Yes, this is definitely looking a lot better. You know, consistently we're ramping off of that thing in the exact same way. You know, that's what we want to see is, you know, a consistent ramp. So, you know, we could build levels that actually use that sort of stuff. You know, just hold the right key and you'll make the jump, sorts of things. Well, weird stuff is happening when I jump on this thing. So what is going on when I jump? Because like I'm hitting the A button and he's going backwards. Let's... Yeah, it's any slope here when we jump on it where we're moving along the direction of travel as opposed to launching off of it. Is there something with update in the air? Update flying? So update locomotion in the air. Let's see, sweep object movement. If we haven't collided, just move in the air to our intended destination. So there's something wrong with our movement while we're in the air. Like I think we jumped and then we're like colliding with stuff because we're holding forward and we're like running into the floor. And we hit the floor and we're then moving along the ground, which we shouldn't be doing. So we'll just print out a whole bunch of information that we've got. So this is the actual move distance is going to be that. We're going to move the actual distance that we can. So it's going to be something about moving along the ceiling. Like, I think what's happening is this thing is thinking that we're on the ceiling moving. And the reason we can't land is because our velocity z is greater than 0? Yeah, like our new velocity is less than equal to 0. Our new velocity z is actually greater than 0, so we're supposed to be going up. Is it that we can't land if our velocity is positive in the z? That's not exactly true. Like, if we ran into something, like, we should be able to, like, if we jumped and we're still going up, but like we hit a slope, like, you know, is there any way to actually hit a slope like that? I mean, theoretically, yeah, but I guess maybe we can land even if we don't have this, so maybe we should check out this condition. Why don't we just try taking out that condition, so maybe we can land on the floor if it's close enough below us? Though I think some of this is all screwed up. Like, we're immediately going to snap to the floor as far as I think is going to happen. No, it looks like it might be exactly what we want. thing is, he's running up the wall faster than he can jump. So it literally was just that one thing. That's really fucking funny, actually. Oh man, I didn't even think about that. So the reason why I can jump so much farther there is because if you're holding down the jump button, Bitey's jump, like how he does this is he has the same jump velocity, but if you're holding down the A button and your velocity is positive, he will go farther. So if you run off a ramp, like if I keep holding A and I run off the ramp, he will actually fly farther. Wow, that's really interesting. I didn't even think about that. So Bitey gets like a super jump if you just hold down the A key. So we need the jump kill to only affect a certain amount of thrust. Like you should basically only be able to affect the first so and so amount. So I can remove some of the debug stuff I've got here. And it really was just the landing Z stuff. That's the only thing that we needed to change. Was like, alright, yeah, sure, you can totally land. But let's go double check our little curly Q area and make sure that movement still works properly. Because there's probably a reason why we threw the can land and cannot land crap in there. Maybe it has to do with some movement that has to do with that little area that we had. No, it's the jump kill velocity that's doing it. It's not actually a jump. It's the that the jump kill doesn't have any concept of if you actually jumped or not. It just if you're holding the A key, then it makes it so your positive Z velocity does not decrease nearly as fast. So why aren't we able to mantle over these things? Is our mantle height just not enough? Like, we had this mantling stuff fixed. It looks like it's unfixed. Like, I'm gonna set mantle height to, like, you know, like 3 billion or something. So why are we failing to mantle now? So we'll see exactly why our mantling is broken, which will be the thing that was sweeping up and around and getting us over those little things that are stuck in the ground. So it's line A51, that's where we're failing to mantle, so it's the sweep movements from sweep 2 in the sweep 2 direction. So we are colliding with floor 105. Sweep 2 position, sweep 2 direction, sweep 1 distance, sweep 1 direction. Plus outward nudge is step 3 impact normal. What is the mantle outward nudge? It's 0.4? Maybe we need a little bit more. Let's see, what was the collision distance? The collision distance was 0.01, so it like pretty much instantly collided. Alright, well, maybe it needs to start a little bit higher. And yeah, we're just tediously messing with movement just to make it correct. And that's what we do. Just mess with movement. So it's the step 2, which is the one that steps into the object. It's just not a little, it just needs a little bit of help to get over it. What the fuck? Like, what is going on here? Like, this doesn't make any sense why this is all broken now. Let's just throw some bigger numbers at this and make it just go to some extremes to make it do what we want. Because we're not failing the upward sweep, we're failing the like to the right sweep, which I would not expect. So sweep to position, what is the collision here? Actually telling us that the hit collided at 0.01. The sweep to position